It's 12:07. Let's see how long it takes for this thing to pop up here. Nothing yet. But it seems like it takes like half a minute for it to go live from previous experience. But yeah, I agree, Jane. We should just have a first slide up on the screen, and we'll see that in a second here, what that looks like. Still not live on my end, although I think it's probably
live.
If you guys are watching, it's probably already live on your end because my connection.
Yeah, it's already live.
You're already live? Okay, so what do you see?
I see exactly what's showing right now. All of us on the corner here, and then the presentation in the middle.
Okay, so if I'm going to turn us all off for a second. So when I did that, did the entire screen become a slide?
Yep. Yeah, it was all slide, but it still had there will be a Q&A session following.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I forgot to turn that off, yeah. So that looked good, right? So then it was literally just the slide. This is the way we'd want it to look. Jane, is that what you're suggesting? While we're waiting to actually go live?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right, well then that works. Yeah, I still don't have it. This is on my channel and I still don't have it.
Are you on the live tab?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
okay.
Weird.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm now I see it. Okay. Let me hang on just a second. I'm going to turn us off again real quick because I want to get another look at that.
Okay.
Yep, that's the look we want there.
That's the look we want right there. So it's the second one. So it's a split screen, but if there's nothing there, then it gets the whole screen. That's how that's working.
Yes, I think we do that as that's how we go live. The split screen, wait our minute.
We're in the green room.
And have it go to this view, I guess.
And then you just take yourself out of the green room, Trevor. That's all you do.
Yeah.
So everybody in the green room's off. Your presentation is the only thing that's on. You can use this second tab so that all you get is the slide, which is the orientation I just had. And then when you're ready, you just add yourself to the take yourself out of the green room, and then it will end up looking like
it'll be half and half.
It'll be like this, I think, if that's what you want it to be. So when you start, do you want the camera just on you and no slide? You want it to go straight to you, full screen?
I don't think so. I think just leave the slides up there. I pop up on the video.
Hang on.
Yeah. So I'll switch it over. Yeah, exactly. So before I come on camera, I'll do it this way. Hey, everybody, and then pop on like that, having switched over to that other view first. You're both Jane, so I can't tell who's typing that.
Yeah. I liked it because it just showed you and the slot. This one here, or was it this one here? It was this one here because it still had masterclass also. The background screen was still showing through it, which looked fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why don't we any other questions before we do this thing A to Z?
I think it's good.
All right.
So are you gonna I wasn't totally clear from my last piece. When I get all the way through to Q&A, I need to pop up. Oh, the chat is over there. Okay, I got that.
So you can see the chats. We can turn that on so you can see it. So you'll probably want, so here's the thing. I don't think we're going to go to chat until you get to Q&A, because between then, I want to be able to pop captions up on the screen for you, right? We kind of went through some of these the other day. Now I don't really know yet which ones to pop up when during your presentation, but we created different ones here to use.
I think it'll be obvious as you have those pre-created ones, and then once I start talking about it.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to be looking for you then from cues. And then when it's over and you say, yeah, well, why don't we go ahead and look at the chat now? As soon as you say that, then you or I mean, you have the controls too. You might as well be the one that does it. You just click on the chat button there in the upper right, and you can scroll through the questions or we will seed some questions for you, right? In any event, right? And there will be a question.
I'm sure there will, yeah.
Yeah, even if we have to put one in there ourselves. And there's going to be a lot of Impartner people on this as well, so all right, we'll make sure you have some questions if nobody else does.
Okay, or at least comments of when I say, what do you think is the ideal PX? Let's have at least some Impartner folks commenting.
Yeah,
right.
That'd be really good.
Okay. Well, so then I get to my end, I do the Q&A. I say, okay, that's our show. Be sure to like and share this episode with your network and click the link in the description to fill out our survey telling us about your experience today. Is there going to be...
Well, so I'm creating that survey now, and I've asked Jane and Chelsea to really say what the wording or what the actual questions are. I know Dave said he wanted one that was free form. Hey, tell us what you want to see in a future show. Another one is a rating, right? How did you like the show, or something along those lines? It's a 5-star, 1 to 5-star thing. And I don't know. Did it seem like that was the only 2 questions we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think so. Just keep it simple. How was it 1 to 5? What would you like to talk about for future episodes?
All right. Okay. So, before,
so that will just, once that's created, it's just a link that you're gonna be putting in the chat, or how do I say?
You know what? I'm gonna try to pop it up right now.
Okay.
And see if we can do it.
We can always drive traffic to it too after the LinkedIn Live is out, and say you had ended the session, we can go on LinkedIn and comment and say, hey, thank you again for participating. For those who attended, don't forget to fill out our survey.
Okay.
Just to get it out there again.
How do we do this?
And then I can send you all the link too of, or you guys might have access to it too, of downloading who all attended the event for reporting purposes.
Yeah, I think we all have access to who's registered and then obviously who attended.
Perfect.
Should come up at that point.
Hang on a second. Let me just see how this works here. I'm doing this on another laptop, so I'm going to drop this into Jane's chat so I can pick it up over here. Teams chat, rather.
Oh, okay.
Let me go over here and get it. Which I probably can't since my computer's all jammed up. There it is. Copy link. I'm just going to dump it in here right now so we can have a look at it. It will be in the what would be useful now is because I've got this thing running here. Let me go see this and click on it and see what happens when I do it. So I leave the stream when I do that. That's the problem with the link. It's fine if we drop it in the description because people can do it after the show.
You can't click on that, right? That's not something people can click on.
No, let's keep it in the description and then maybe put it in the chat towards like the end of it as well.
And when you put it in the chat, so if we're putting it on Restream, that's going to chat it out to LinkedIn and YouTube or wherever it's gone. But if people are chatting from a YouTube, the LinkedIn people don't necessarily see that. Is that true?
No, it should still pull through.
No matter where they're coming from, it pulls into it redistributes, I guess, to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Because it has the same chat functionality for every platform we're connected to.
Got it. Because I was just thinking of as I went through the Q&A, I guess there could be a whole stream of comments, but just pull it up.
God damn it! Unfortunately, a caption can't be a live link. That would have been nice. So we'll have it in the description. You can refer to it at the end, right? So we're going to have 3 links, I guess, in the description. One's going to be sign up for the next show. One's going to be, hey, take this survey. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to help us make the show better, make it more meaningful for you. And the third one will be, I thought I knew what the third one was going to be. I guess it was going to be, hey, you can see all of our videos, past shows and whatnot, in the link below. What would that link be, Jane?
Well, I don't know if we should do that for the first one because we'll only have one. So let's maybe save that for the next episode.
Well, so do either of you guys have an objection to this going on the Impartner YouTube channel at the same time as doing LinkedIn Live?
No, that's fine. And
that's
I
where it'll
plan
be.
on housing these videos on YouTube as well.
Yeah, because that's where it'll be. But what I don't know is if I'm pretty sure we can take this file and we can. So Jane, possibly you'll want to edit these, or somebody will want to edit this before we actually make a repeat version of it available. Because once this thing closes, if I stream this onto the Impartner YouTube, it will be there immediately in all of its glory.
No, that's fine. I think that we don't need to clean these up too much. I think for like our purposes, we wanted to like slice and dice certain sections of it to use it as like teasers, email campaign, this will be like gold for later on, but I think it's fine having the whole thing live on each respective platform as we're going live. Keeps it up.
Then that would be then that would be the third reference, I guess, to links in the description. As you know, all of our videos can be found on our YouTube channel, link in the description below. Jane gave me the language for that earlier. I didn't update you with it, Trevor. You're still using the one I just threw together last week, and it's fine just for training purposes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, shall we have a show?
Yeah. I'm just thinking
we're going to do this. We're going to turn everything off. We're going to turn everything off, and when you're ready, you're going to take yourself out of the green room.
Okay. One last thing. Do we have on our website somewhere the general description of Masterclass, not specifically this episode? I was trying to.
Yes. So it's not live yet. I just created a stream in Uberflip. So we can either flip the switch to make it go live. But the problem is there's nothing on that stream yet. So this video was going to kind of like be the intro to it.
Yeah, I just want that same wording as my intro for this first slide. Like, hey everyone, welcome to Impartner Masterclass. This is where we talk best practice, whatever, and say that description right there.
Got it. Let me ping that over to you.
Okay, so it sounds like besides an extra, we need maybe a standard intro as well, even if it's just a sentence. And Jane, how did you fix your background?
So I clicked the like ... on the top of my screen video settings. Just toggled off mirror camera. So it mirrors your camera, so it's in your background. So if you want to flip your background now too, you can do that too. Just turn off mirror.
Gotcha. All right. Good. Then everything's spelled correctly. Great. Okay, well, that's just lazy on a lot of people's parts. I see this happen all the time on podcasts where the wordings behind them is backwards. Okay, seems like a simple fix, but I don't know. Whatever.
So let's see. I was still fixing my notes here. Where?
So I'm going to stick the survey in the description, but then I will pop it into the chat as like the last thing in the stream so that people have a chance to, click on it, whatnot. Basically, I'll put that up there, Trevor, as you're saying, hey, that's our show. Look for all our links, take our survey. It's down below. It's over here in the chat, yada, yada, yada. We're just winging it still.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least for this dry run, I'll put a placeholder of that description that you have on the Uber flip, and I'll pop it in there for the final version.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat of like the high level. What is masterclass?
I guess I have a delay on that.
Yeah.
Do I want to say LinkedIn live series or just live? Because they could be watching.
You
this
could
on
just say
YouTube.
live. Yeah,
It's
good
going to be
point.
on
I'll
YouTube
actually
too.
put
So.
that on my copy too.
Okay.
I reached out to Steve Oates about him being a guest on your show in 2 weeks. Haven't heard back from him. I'm sure he's out trying to land, AT&T.
Okay, I think that fixes that. All right, so I'll start from the top, go in the green room just like I would for the live version, and we can get.
Yeah, let's turn everybody off and get the master slide up here, and then when we see you, it's go.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Impartner Masterclass. This is a new live stream series where we're going to take an innovative approach to channel management, education, and focus on live social media sessions that provide a strategic guidance on starting and scaling world-class channel programs and building out an Impartner ecosystem, or a partner ecosystem, I should say. So, the agenda for today, this isn't meant to be a very long session. I want to be efficient with your time and cover the topic of each episode in a way that's helpful in getting, the creative juices flowing and getting you to think a little bit differently at how to approach your channel, or at least get a good idea of what other leading companies are doing to future-proof your channel with an entire partner ecosystem in mind. And for today's episode, our very first masterclass, and thank you to everyone for coming here and supporting this new initiative. I wanted to start from a high level and looking at how to architect and organize your tech stack. So all those tools that you have, and specifically any that affect the partner experience, right? So we'll start by talking through the current state of your average tech stack, then what the ideal scenario looks like, and how to bridge the gaps between those two by providing a couple of real-world examples, and then we'll go into a Q&A type of session. So the chat is open during this entire session. Please jump in, give me your comments. I'll be asking a couple of questions throughout, so I'd love to see any of your comments on there, and we'll address those at the end. All right, so jumping into it here. First of all, I've worked for over 15 years in the channel and have seen a lot of things and changes in the market during that time. One thing's certain, we've come a long way from a technology perspective in the channel tech stack. Our lives have been made immensely easier, thankfully. However, I found that despite our advances in understanding and technology and even the community that we've generated within the channel, there still remains some common challenges that companies face depending on the maturity of their channel. And if you're just starting out or in building your partner ecosystem, there's usually a reluctance by management to invest in tools. Okay, that's probably the true scenario, no matter how mature your channel is, there's that reluctance. But especially when you're just starting out, it's a bit of a risk. Management probably isn't familiar with how successful a channel can be. And so you probably have a few tools that are just starting to be used, if any. And at the other end of the spectrum, there's enterprise-sized channels with thousands of partners and dozens of solutions to manage many or all of the needs, various needs across all the different partner types within your ecosystem. And when there's multiple systems the partners need to access, you probably have at least an SSO set up to connect all those different systems, hopefully, and not having the partners remember multiple logins. We already have enough sticky notes of all the passwords we need to remember. We don't want to add additional ones to the partners there. And maybe an LMS for training. You might have, that at least SSO connection, but it's not as common to tie that data together so that each system knows what the other is doing and be able to affect the partner experience. So then comes the scenario that you are growing, which great news, by the way, but it means that your tech stack needs to bloat even more and have yet another silo of data that arrives that's either disconnected or maybe loosely connected to the other tools. And all of this makes scaling a bit more difficult, and the partner experience becomes more and more clunky with the more tools that you have to add into that to solve all of the use cases that you have. In fact, here's a nice visual of at least a good portion of what could be involved in your partner ecosystem. It's pretty rare that a single platform does all these things for you. So as you've likely heard in the partner ecosystem discussions at other events or webinars, if you've been listening to the experts out there, integration is really a critical piece and crucial to making your ecosystem cohesive from a management approach and from the partner experience approach also. So speaking of partner experience, a common theme that you're going to hear from me and from many analysts and channel experts and consultants, etc., is that making the partner experience a central focus is key to having a competitive advantage. And assuming for a moment that all things are mostly equal from a product perspective between you and your competitors, I know you're selling the best product out there and nobody can touch it. But from an external perspective, let's just pretend that all things are mostly equal and it's hard to tell from one vendor to the next as I'm selling as a partner. So making it easiest to work with you and providing the best partner experience is what you can really have as a easy differentiator and a way to stand out in that mind share of your partners. So if we make a partner experience, or PX, as I'm calling it here, the central focus when thinking of how a partner should work with you, then what makes the most sense is taking a single pane of glass approach, a true centralized portal to give your partners access to all the tools and the content, the communications, and all the things that you need to do in that partner experience. And that means that you need to make PRM, which is generally the engine behind your partner portal. You need to make that the center of your partner tech stack, your partner ecosystem. It's the front door. All the other tools involved with your ecosystem management need to be in that same house, essentially, which is why that integration is very critical. And also means that choosing a PRM that has solid integration capabilities is very critical. So hopefully you're good on that front. But your PRM should be able to provide a single login to access all the tools. We already have the hundreds of sticky notes, like I was saying. We don't want to make partners have to remember yet another password beyond just the one to access the portal and all the tools you have there. That's an absolute must. That's basic blocking and tackling, to use the American football term. But don't stop there. You need to make your life easier by having all the data funneling into the PRM as that central system of truth. And not only is it a benefit for easier management and data integrity on your end, but you can influence the partner experience and be more fluid. And the common example, like I mentioned earlier, if a partner completes a training and gets certified on your LMS, it should affect their partner experience in some way and reward their their experience automatically. And if I return to the PRM portal and see additional content or tool access or some indication that it was to my benefit that I took the time to get trained, that's going to make a much better experience than I took the time to get trained and nothing happened. And I don't see the value immediately from what I just did, other than, of course, I'm smarter than I was before. All right. So the problem is getting those third-party tools like an LMS fully integrated into your portal. It's usually not a very small project. It's getting APIs involved. You're going to get two disparate systems to talk to each other. Yes, there's iPaaS solutions out there that help, but it takes some time, some planning to what that should look like. Because not only you have to think about what data, what fields need to be passed, how often, what influence it should have on the partner experience. So most commonly, this requires some sort of a professional services engagement. And that entails additional cost, at least several weeks before you can roll it out, some coding most likely, and you'll have to do some analysis of whether the time to value is worth it in many cases to enhance the partner experience that way and make that connection. So for me, I would argue that it's usually worth it to bite the bullet and make the process automated and integrated for the good of your scalability and overall partner experience. Luckily for Impartner customers, there's now the ability to leverage custom objects and workflows to greatly reduce both the time and cost of setting up these data and process integrations. So I wanted to talk about a couple of real-world scenarios where companies that we've worked with have had these problems where need those two systems to talk together, and we were able to solve it with this custom object integration plus our CRM integration tool called CRM Sync. So the first real-world example of how to place your PRM at the center of your partner ecosystem was one of our first customers to leverage this new custom objects capability during its beta period. And they had an issue of wanting to expose partner projects. So they had this custom object called projects that was actually using a third-party tool that was integrated into their CRM. And they wanted to better communicate what was assigned to partners. They were tagged onto there, but it was in a silo, and they didn't want to make all the partners users in the CRM. That's expensive. They already had a portal. And they also wanted a dashboard of all those project records, only showing the records associated with the partners, obviously, and having security around that, and be able to click as a partner into any of those records to see additional details, maybe provide a status update on the project from the partner side. So after creating the custom object of projects and adding all the fields that they wanted exposed to the partners, this customer, this company, they used our CRM Sync tool to map the data, and then our dynamic forms capability to set up the UI on the portal of the dashboard and the form fields displayed. And when a partner clicked for more details on any record, they were able to see all that. And what used to be several weeks of calls with developers, custom coding for API and UI setup, et cetera, like I was saying with the professional services engagement, it now only took a 1-hour call with an Impartner person to teach them how to use this new functionality. It was all within the UI there, and some clicks later and some tears of joy, and that's all it took. So I was thinking of asking for forgiveness instead of permission and show you exactly what we did for this particular company, but instead I just removed some identifying characteristics to show you what the results look like and show you some of this screenshot here. So in the end, what used to be a siloed process in an external system is now fully integrated into their portal, into the PRM, to make the PRM the central source of truth where the partners can go to and view all they need. So as I go in and I click on any of the records here, I get all the details. I can update the status of the project, and that feeds right back into the CRM and into this external system right away. So I can also leverage the workflows to send off the email alerts, since the PRM system has visibility into all this data, and leverage all the workflows available there. All right, so another common type of integration or even tool replacement that I've seen is what previously could only be done through a MAP, a marketing automation platform, or SurveyMonkey or similar, to post custom forms or surveys within the portal for a variety of reasons. And these can be used for partner feedback surveys or to allow partners to submit requests of any kind. The first example here is from a customer in Europe, and they wanted to, they wanted to collect requests from partners from a variety of partner marketing initiatives, be able to track, whether it was a blog post, a webinar, event, and have dynamic additional questions based off of the initial selection. So in this case, I selected a blog post here on that third field, and then an additional section showed up that was dynamic. That's why we call it dynamic forms, with additional questions about what kind of blog post, what the kind of content they want, etc. And so with that, based off of the different selections with the workflow engine, different teams on the vendor side could be alerted. So very powerful and robust solution available there. And several customers have also integrated their support ticketing system into their PRM in a similar fashion. So I simply copied the process over into our Brighton demo environment here that I'm showing on the right side to highlight how that can be done. And a similar approach as that project integration, but this time the partners can submit new records. I can create a new case there. And that is just creating, natively, or when you get PRM out of the box, it generally doesn't have a support case object or place to store all those requests. So we were able to create that beyond what comes out of the box and with the configuration capabilities, and now expose and create that whole process and tie it into the Salesforce Support Cloud or Zendesk or whatever the engine is behind the scenes that's driving that and managing those requests with your team. So again, just a couple of examples there. And sorry, I'm a little dry. All right, so beyond that, I've just highlighted a couple of examples, but the possibilities are truly endless, right? So there's a few more actual use cases that our customers have solved with Impartner custom objects I've listed here, whether it's warranty, subscriptions, demo unit requests, knowledge base, account mapping. Really, we just have a growing list of everything that you can do. And as you'll notice, that's not something that you'll have usually natively within the PRM. It's handled by some additional tool, but we've been able to fully integrate it into that central repository that PRM can become, and make it a smooth, seamless process from the partner's perspective, and centralize all that data. So everything that's happening on a partner's data and all that entire repository exists in the one place. So you get that full 360-degree picture of what's happening in all aspects for each one of your partners. So in the end, your PRM environment may start to look a little bit like my demo environment as you configure it to match all your business and integration needs, and as many objects as you need to store natively beyond the standard objects that come out of the box, like I was saying. And really, that's what I'm talking about when I said at the top of this session that you should make your PRM, or whatever you call the engine behind your portal, that should be the center of your partner ecosystem. And all the other tools within your tech stack enhance that and filter through there. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover for this session. Let's head to the comments. Hopefully it's better than the comments section in your standard New York Times article. But what do we have here? So I really like this comment here. I thought that was a very good feedback. made me chuckle, threw me off a little bit, but good. Yeah, Jane, like you said, PRM is the central system of truth. It's really a simple concept, but one that a lot of organizations struggle with. So I think if you can make that turn, you're going to really make yourself future-proof as the ecosystems just expand and expand more and more. Yeah, so we are looking at different topics. So I'm highlighting the comments that I'm responding to here. So we're looking at doing master classes on all sorts of different relevant topics that our channel ecosystem wants to talk about. So account mapping is a hot topic right now. So we'll definitely have a session on those. And we will be announcing all different topics that we have and putting all that information out. So be on the lookout for those. But most of all, just make sure that you register for the next one. Our next one that we're having is in a couple of weeks. So thank you for being a part of this maiden voyage of the Impartner Masterclass series. This was indeed episode 1. And I hope it was better received than episode 1 of the Star Wars series. And I didn't pull any Jar Jar Binks moments on you. Anyway, that's our show. And be sure to like and share this episode with your network. It's out there on social media. We put it on LinkedIn and YouTube and a bunch of other areas. Stream this out to all the social media platforms. And all our episodes will be featured on the Impartner YouTube page and on our website. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to register to attend our next episode, which, like I said, is happening Monday, December 19th. And in that one, I'll be joined by my colleague, Steve Oates. He is a channel expert that's been with Impartner for over 7 years and worked with a lot of great companies focused on the enterprise. He's worked with a lot of the bigger customers of ours. And we're going to talk about getting clear ROI for your MDF program. So that will be a great session, and I'll have a partner in crime to talk about that with. All right, that is our session. Bye, guys. I'm turning off the light.